it was just incredible when we'd won that, and the first feeling to ever like get a medal, it was incredible. And I actually used to love training against her, but also hate it as well, because she's also one of those people that's just going to bang in goals and doesn't even look like she's putting any effort in whatsoever.
Is this good content for everyone? They've flown the floor over from the Netherlands, I believe.
Now we're in territory where we're going to get cancelled. Now we are in territory, okay, moving swiftly on.
Probably the ugliest yet most effective shot. I mean, he's good for like 7 or 8 goals a game. He's probably not even going to listen to that, so it doesn't matter.
One of the most feared. I'm so sorry. I just couldn't.
We had to put it in.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the For Korf's Sake podcast. We are on episode number 6. My name is James Sawyer, and I'm joined by my wonderful co-host, the Grammy award-winning artist, Friz Khalifa over there.
I actually don't know where to go anymore. I think we end the pod now. It's never getting better than that.
Oh, this has made me so happy. Oh, goodness me. People knew that took a couple of efforts to get that one out. Anyway, how has your week been, Caitlin?
Yeah, I mean, a bit jet lagged after the Grammys, but apart from that, all good this week. Yeah, excited to be on episode 6 already, and got a really fun episode today. I know we always say that, but this one's action-packed from start to finish.
Yeah, I know. Very exciting. Also, 6 in a row.
Never stuck at something before in my life like this.
We are keeping it up. Anyway, let's actually start with Vogwill's very difficult question. We'll start straight in there with the answer to that. So the question was, who has scored the most goals against England and Great Britain since 2006? And the answer was the Portuguese legend Miguel Costa, with 32 goals, for those that are wondering. Congratulations to Tom Brady for guessing it. I don't know if he guessed it. He's got all the stats, right? Which is like, a bit sneaky, but also after a number of guesses, Lizzie Ty did also manage to get it right, but that was a backwards and forwards, so I'm not sure that counts. But we will have another Vogwell very difficult question later on, and we'll go through that later.
But I think that's a new record of mentioning Lizzie Ty, less than 5 minutes. She'll like that.
She's going to love that. Had to give it a shout out, didn't we?
Yeah.
Right. But let's do a quick recap, Caitlin, on last week's results. So let me quickly pull them up in front of me now. So first up, we had Tornadoes versus Bromley, and that game finished a 28-22 game. I'm not sure if you've managed to see this one yet, Caitlin.
Only some trusty highlights from Korfball style. I actually tried to find it earlier, but I'll give it a proper analysis later.
All right, I can quickly run through that. It was a good game. I can send you the link as well. Ross Cartail is uploading them onto his YouTube channel, so you can see that as well, which is great. Really good game overall. Bromley, basically, I think it was 13-6 at half time. And then I think Bromley won the second half 16-15. So I guess, 2 parts to that. One is that, obviously it, I guess, gives Bromley a little bit of confidence that they can continue to do it for a certain period of time. They know they can get the result if they play like that consistently, but also credit to Tornadoes for getting that lead in the first place. And then more importantly, consistently keeping it. They never really lost it, which is a credit to them. And I guess just shows that they're developing and becoming more mature and experienced with each kind of game they play. So very as impressive from them as it was that Bromley second half for sure. So really good. Standout performance from Eleanor Parker, I thought. So cool there. On to the next game, Bearsted versus Nomads. Again, there's no footage of this, but a 17-21 result. So 21-17 to Nomads, should I say. Relatively close game, 4 goals in it. What do you think? None of us have seen footage, but what do you think both teams will take away from that?
I think encouraging signs for Bearsted, drawing at half time. I know that the only result that matters is at the very end, but when you're in a tough position as they are, newly promoted side, you'll need to find kind of motivation in those small moments like that. So I think that'll be something they'll be definitely looking to take forwards against a Nomad side that have got danger players, some that we mentioned. So kind of no mean feat to be close to them. Yeah, so Nomads, though, will be very happy to return to winning ways, even if it is against the team currently bottom in the league this year, where there's going to be lots of close games. It's important to start building momentum. Hopefully they can take that forward. That's kind of my thoughts on that one, I think.
100%. And then we've got the Cambridge Tigers and Trojans game. Trojans beat Tigers 27-16. That game is on YouTube, as always. Yeah, Tigers being just the gods of uploading to YouTube. Don't know what your thoughts were on that, Caitlin. Not sure if you had a chance to peruse some of the highlights of that.
Yeah, seen a few bits, and it's Trojans just showing that they've got lots of goals, players that are going to score goals. Nice to see them kind of mix up the divisions a little bit, Trojans, and lots of goals from everyone. To hit nearly 30 is always impressive in this league. So Trojans are really kind of, if there are any doubts about them finishing top 4, I think they're really kind of proving week on week that they're going to be in and amongst that. And I wouldn't be surprised if they make it to the semi-finals. I think there's no doubt there anymore.
Yeah, would agree with that. I know Tigers were missing Andy Hall as well, who's a bit of a, obviously he's a big player for them and rarely misses games. He's incredibly consistent with his games. So I hope he's not injured. I hope it's just he wasn't able to make it. I thought Tigers really struggled with the rebound. Some of the attacking play looked really nice. They're trying to play really expansively, which I love. But just the reality is they really struggled, I think, in defence to actually steal that ball off of Trojans. And when Trojans get 3 or 4 attacks, they're gonna score goals. One of the best scoring set of goal scorers in the entire league ever, right? So no doubt there. And then we'll do I'll quickly run through, I guess, the bet game. How do you find it, Caitlin?
Yeah, super fun actually. For me personally, my division, it felt really like we gelled really, really well. It's actually only the second game we've played together. I was with Joe, Bedford, Billy Ashby, Shannon Jones, and we all scored 3+ goals each. So like really shared goals amongst the division, which was really fun to be a part of. But overall, yeah, great team performance. It's actually the first time we've gone above 30 goals. So yeah, really positive and great to be top of the league now after that one. Is that correct?
Yeah, no. We are top of the league, or Beck are now top of the league, which is great. I think it's definitely an interesting one as well for Thunder. I do want to call out that Thunder were missing Toby Clark and Leo Comerford. And so I do think that made an impact to their game. I also think it's worthwhile calling out that we did hear through the grapevine after the game that I think both James and Kira Wilcox were very unwell prior to the game in the week leading up to it. But what I will say is, and I think this is quite important, is both coach and captain have come onto the podcast and sort of, I guess, celebrated and really championed the fact that they've got the strongest depth in terms of what they think with boys and girls, etc. And the reality is they had an opportunity on Sunday to prove how solid that depth was and to prove that they can go after Beck and chase them and basically, try and force a result or try and force something. And to be honest, I think that they've come in and they've lost by 19 goals. And I think it's one of those where Beck are out there going after it. And I think it's completely fair. Like, genuinely, they were obviously missing players, but you can't really make that argument if your entire kind of narrative for the season has been that we've got the best depth. I don't think that necessarily proved it on Sunday. And I really, really hope that they come back strong, because nobody wants to see first versus second ending in a 19-goal defeat. We all want to see close games. And I hope that when they do get those players back, it's good motivation for them, and when they're all fit and healthy, to come back and to put it on strong. But the reality is, I think now it presses down to how are they going to fare against the likes of Kingfisher, Knights, Trojans, Nomads, Tornadoes. That I think is the question moving forward for the season. I think Beck quashed any debate around if there was any closeness within that game. So yeah, I think they've got some work to do.
Yeah. As you say, yeah, some missing players, etc. I've definitely enjoyed the kind of pre-game hype that we had with John and stuff about this. Good fun, really. But yeah, definitely stuff for them to go and work on. And as I say, that fight for the remaining playoff spots really is heating up, which I think leads us to quite well into the next result, Kingfisher Norwich, and the hot streak that Kingfisher are on. But I'll let you say more on that now, James.
I would agree. And I think rather than us just talking about that, Caitlin, I think it would be good fun to actually bring someone that can give us some insight onto that, which brings us nicely onto the intro to our guest. So Let me quickly bring the guest into the pod, Caitlin. Are you ready?
I have been thinking about it all day.
All day. Wow. How lucky. Right. Okay. Here we go. Let me put it up here. Right. You ready? Undoubtedly one of the best female players of the last 7 years, an absolute staple of the England team and English Korfball League, having already been at the top of her game, playing for both Tornadoes and Kingfisher. It's hard to comprehend that she's under 25 years old. Now, let me reel off some of her impressive accomplishments. 25 caps for England, scoring 24 goals in that time, made her senior debut in the World Cup at just 19 years old, an under-20 European bronze medalist, 0-time National League champion, one of the most fit... I'm so sorry. I just couldn't...
We had to put it in.
Right, okay, right.
That's brilliant. I love it.
Moving on. One of the most feared players in the league and ranked as Marcus Ty's perfect defender. We all know she's destined for genuine Korf greatness, and it is an honour that this legend has agreed to waffle with us for the next hour or so. Rumour has it, Caitlin, she's specifically had her hair done for the pod. So everybody, please join us in welcoming the one and only Aisha Chaudry to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I would like to caveat that with, I did get my hair done and then got caught outside walking the dogs. So hence why it doesn't look amazing. But thanks for having me. What an intro.
Here we go.
Yeah, I feel like we've got to try and get something fun in there rather than just complete glaze, you know? So
yeah, I mean, 0-time national champs is thanks to rub salt in that wound.
It's all right. Caitlin's got some doozies coming up, you know, over the next however long we do this podcast. She's just going to slowly but surely get more and more roasted as we bring on guests that have broken her heart throughout the years.
It's a shared trauma.
I didn't have time to get my wine either.
Maybe we should start that as a trend, Caitlin. Tuesday night wine club.
Yeah,
know?
maybe.
I'd be there for a little yap about the Korf as well. Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, Aisha, how are you? How was your week?
Yeah, really good, thank you. Tuesday's my day off, so it's been really nice today to just chill. But yeah, good, thank you. What about you guys?
Good. Happy that we're doing this. This is always my favourite time of week now. So love it, don't we?
Yes, indeed.
So, Aisha, me and Caitlin have been talking about the results. I wanted to hand over to you, I guess, a little bit, or just ask you. You played Knights at the weekend. I think would have expected that generally to be a really, really tight game. Looks like in the end it was 28-19. So pretty healthy victory for Kingfisher. Just talk us through how you felt that went at the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, that was a huge win for us. It was actually a really close game, I think, for maybe like the first 20, 25 minutes. Can't remember the halftime score, but I remember looking at one point and it was like 8-all. So it was a really close game. And then in the second half, we just kind of like took it away. I think we ended up having a 12-goal lead at one point. But yeah, really, really good game. I mean, solid performance from Knights as well. I think they've got obviously the experience of having Claire and Charlie in there. But then down the other division, they've also got some younger players who I think, I can't remember their names, but Ethan and Alfie Slaney, I maybe want to say.
Yeah, Charlie mentioned them a few weeks ago. Yeah, exciting duo.
But I mean, Charlie, for somebody who's got a hip problem, didn't really look like he was shooting like he did. Still managed to bang in quite a few goals. But yeah, really, really good game.
Nice, good to hear it, and good to see Kingfisher. You are on a run of form at the minute. It feels like the start of the season was a bit slow, and now feels like you've definitely found your feet. What do you think that is? Is it just getting consistency with players, or?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, we had Owen wasn't playing for the first 2 games. He got carded at the end of last season, had a couple of match ban. We also had some injuries, like Luke Flanagan. He'd come back from having quite a bad ankle injury. So he's back in. We've got Flynn Pickott back in the team. Sorry if I've said his surname wrong. Amy Swain, now Medhurst. She had some pretty bad injuries last year as well, operations on her knees. So yeah, I mean, we didn't have our starting 8 at the start of the season. I mean, we had like a narrow loss to Tigers, a loss to you guys, Caitlin. But I mean, we had someone like Gaz Wright, who's in our second team playing, and Paul also starting. So we didn't really have like our best game there. Still didn't lose by as much as Bristol, but it's okay. But yeah, and then I think we've just sort of consistency with training. Owen's obviously come back. We had a good draw against Bristol. Mallory Head scored a buzzer beater the last second of the game, which was incredible. And then a really good game against Nomads, just an even better game against Knights. So I think it was a bit harsh to maybe say that we were going to be down the bottom end of the table. I think we're definitely looking to go top 4 this season. I don't necessarily think that maybe position 1 is a given, but I don't think that position 2 is a given either. I think the whole table really is up for grabs.
Yeah, for sure. And I think we've seen with Kingfisher that there's undoubtedly quality in that team. You know, these players have been around for many years, played at the top level, some of them. And it really was just about, can we get everyone back fit, committed? And it seems like that's coming together. So that should be, really exciting when come playoffs, because I think that Kingfisher is a team that should be there. I just didn't know if external circumstances, injuries, etc., would allow you guys to be, but it seems like you're going to get there, hopefully. So very exciting all round.
Shall we do a really quick kind of look forward into the week's games and just kind of say like a one thing on each kind of game?
Yeah.
Just make sure, because we want to address it, right? There are some games this weekend. So let's have a little look forward. But since we've got Aisha with us, Aisha, we definitely want to maximise time with you and chatting to you about kind of your Korf career, etc. But yeah, we'll quickly run through this. So for the first game coming up this weekend, which is definitely an exciting one, we have Nomads versus Trojans at Epsom, which I do think makes a difference as well. Obviously, interesting, Neela coaching Nomads, but also playing for Trojans. Yeah, Caitlin, any thoughts on maybe a key matchup that we might see there?
As you say, Epsom, I think, is kind of a good factor for Nomads. They have always done better there. Would personally love to see either Ollie or Alex Bell go against Luis Vargas, a couple of colossal rebounders, really battling it out in a small hall where rebounding is more crucial than ever. See if Nomads play rebound against Trojans. They like to do that, and see how Lewis copes with that. Will be really quite pivotal to how that Trojans section is effective in attack or not. So yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely excited for that one. Might go down for it. Who knows? I'm still living in London, so might have a nice early morning in Epsom. Next up, we have a Kent fixture. A battle for the border of Kent. Kingfisher versus Bearsted. Obviously, Aisha, your team, assuming you'll be expecting a win there. But yeah, give us, who do you think is going to be a key matchup there for you? Who do you expect to kind of play maybe for yourself or another player?
Yeah, I think it's going to be, actually like a physical game. I do think Bearsted are quite a physical team. Probably maybe looking to play against Hannah Bealey, play alongside her as well in the World Champs in Taiwan. She's a really, really good player. Her running in shots are amazing. And so I think she's been a really good addition for them. So excited to probably play against her. To be honest, I don't know a whole lot more about Bearsted and who's playing for them, but I think Rob Williams is playing for them, and he used to coach Luke Flanagan, one of our players. So I'd be maybe keen to see a little bit of a matchup there. Ex-coach, ex-player. So I'd be keen to see that actually.
Yeah, that's always a fun one. I hope that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here, 100%. Next up, we've got Bromley versus Beck. I think that this is a great opportunity. I'm not going to sit there and talk about Beck too much. I think I'm really excited to see the girls of Bromley certainly go after the girls of Beck, right? They're quite aggressive, they're quite fast. I think they've got nothing to lose at this point, and to go after it and really get after Beck and try and cause as many problems in their home venue as they can. Maybe a key matchup as well is I don't know his last name, but his name's Jacob. He's in England, I think, under 17s. Bit of a star there. He has come on leaps and bounds. Ross mentioned him in the first episode of the podcast. I think him versus Billy Ashby would be an absolute stormer of a game. A battle of the curls, should we call it? No offense, Caitlin,
Hey, what?
But and then lastly, we got Thunder against Tigers. A lot of ex-Tigers players in that Thunder squad as well. But I'm sure they'll be desperate to get themselves back in the right direction. Caitlin, key matchup for you?
Yeah, in this game, I would hope that Andy Hall is back, obviously a crucial player for Cambridge, and him against someone like a James Wilcox in Bristol will be a good battle, both physically fit, aggressive attackers will be a nice just a very pleasant battle, I think. Very, very nice people going up against each other.
Yeah, some very exciting games coming up at the weekend. Yeah, look forward to hearing how they all go and where that places the table at the end of that week. Right. On to, I think, Aisha, on to a bit more about you. So we always kind of start the pod in the same way, which is we just kind of ask how you got into Korfball to get an understanding of who comes from where. So I guess, yeah, over to you. Where did Korfball start for you?
Yeah, I mean, Korfball started actually in primary school. Shout out to Kevin Long from Bearsted, came around to all the local primary schools, got us all playing. And obviously, it being a mixed sport, my brother, Zach, who's 2 years older than me, started playing. And I was like, I want to do what Zach does. Started playing, then like kind of moved up the age groups. I had shout out to Don Thornburg as well and Frank Sieber, who was the absolute goat. A big friendly Frank. He was true icon within England Korfball as well. So yeah, stayed with them, working my way up. I mean, Bearsted was a great team, like junior team. They're really, really good at developing their youth players. I think at the time we just played at the K2 and we got promoted into the National League. And then we all sort of dispersed. I think at age I would have been about 15 or 16 and then went off to Tornadoes, coached under Corinne and Dave Buckland. Shout out to them, both probably two of the best coaches in England. And then, yeah, narrowly lost out in our national final against Trojans. Won a couple of bronze as well, though, against Norwich Knights. And then post-COVID, I think I went to uni, played for the University of Kent. Steve Kirby and Ryan Kirby, dynamic duo, as our coaches there. Lost in Bucks actually in our first year, well, my second year at uni, because the first year was COVID, to UEA, to a very good UEA side actually, playing against Hannah Beeley in that final there. And then in our the second Bucks tournament that I played against, I think we ended up coming like 15th out of 8. Like we did so badly to the point where I went out on the Saturday night after we didn't qualify for the top 8, and then I think I went out with all the Norwich Knights lot. So that was, great fun. But then yeah, now I'm at Kingfisher. Stuart McLennan's our coach. Shout out to Stu, great guy. Really, really good team morale. And yeah, absolutely love it.
It's quite, yeah. I'm glad you mentioned so many of those names there. Like, I can't believe we've got to this point and haven't mentioned Frank Sieber, obviously.
I know.
Was pivotal with part of that Bearsted you've set up, and goes to show again the talent that they've produced there. From leaving Bearsted, obviously you then became involved in the kind of, how to describe it, this incredible cohort that went on to, a more core number of those players went on to achieve kind of great success in some of the England youth groups, but we'll talk about that as well in a second. How do you feel that those years at Tornadoes under some incredibly experienced coaches in Corinne and Dave really helped propel your development on in the National League?
Yeah, I mean, I really think that when I started playing for Tornadoes, I was still young. I think I was, maybe 14, 15, 16. And probably like looking at playing second team, I was like on the bench for the first team. And I was like really inspired by a great, great group of players. I mean, Dave and Corinne, also amazing coaches. And I think they took a real bunch of like raw, talented players. And yeah, I think we ended up like from the bottom of the National League going to finals, and really, really great coaches. I think, just trying to think who was playing at the time. We had Owen Bailey and Dan Brown, Ollie Woodham, Shane Buckland, of course, was really, really great. I mean, me, Shane Buckland and Elle Parker were like a little trio growing up. Just really, really like great to be surrounded by some great players. We also had Ashley Warner at the time, Beth McClellan, now Bailey. We had Alex Richardson as well, Sophie Parker. So I think they just really, really, like, we worked hard. We trained twice a week, and you could see team cohesion worked like really, really well. We just, I don't really know where I was going with that.
No, you can kind of see potentially a repeat of that happening now. They've taken like another group, and Tornadoes is on the kind of insurgency again. And yeah, we definitely saw that kind of crossover into England's success, which is something we really want to talk about here, is kind of the England youth setup. Starting, I think, from now it's under 13, 15, 17, 21 and seniors, but that group of you, so yourself, Shane Buckland, Zach Catterall,
Yeah,
Will
I forgot about Zach
Alderton,
and Will,
my
yeah.
yeah, Will Alderton, my new favourite person in Korfball after our Leicester tournament win this summer, and yeah, yourself, Alex, Elle, really were part of an England team that many years was in and around those medal games, but didn't quite get it over the line. I first want to touch on the importance of the England youth setup, and then we'll get on to some England successes. So yeah, what's your kind of couple of favourite memories from that time, and how important that experience was for you?
Yeah, I mean, great question. You obviously, having been a part of the England setup as well, would know how it was. It was a really, really well-oiled like production. They were from the academy up into the under 16s, under 17s, under 19s. Had some really, really good managers, really amazing coaches, Danny Miles, Joe Olds. I think we sometimes had like 2 or 3 trips in a year. We were given like such amazing opportunities to travel and play against better players. Sometimes we'd take like 2 squads. And I think it's a real shame that the England setup isn't like that anymore, because we were really, really lucky to have that sort of experience. We all stuck together and went through the academy under 17s, under 19s, under 21s. And yeah, it's just a real, I mean, Caitlin, you've obviously been a part of that as well. You know what it's like.
Yeah, no, some of the yeah, really, really great times, and yeah, I remember like before I got into England stuff, didn't know how to shoot off one foot. I was a bit chaotic in it. Getting that exposure early on really helped make me slightly less chaotic. And what is actually, I think, nice, really good to see is that within definitely the last year or so, we are seeing more regular attendance at some of these tournaments again, like Flanders recently. Yeah. And yeah, England having some good results there. And I hope that continues. I know it takes the hard work of a lot of dedicated individuals. So yeah, some more positive turn, hopefully, for England youth stuff going forwards. And you're one of the only players that can say they've won a medal for for England, and that being in the under 21s team, I believe.
No.
Yes. No, was it not under 19s? Was it your last year?
No. So actually, we don't want to talk about the under 21s because we lost out in golden goal against Germany in the under 21s. We won bronze. So I had to talk to Elle Parker about this because I had to fact check this. We won in golden goal against Catalonia. These were all under 17s, I believe. Maybe one under 19s as well. I didn't fact check that. But yeah, we won in golden goal after coming back against Catalonia. That was a brilliant game. Absolutely brilliant. And then I think Zach Catterall scored the golden goal in that.
Yes.
And then the next year we won, I think we beat Taipei in a golden goal. And I think Elle Parker scored that one. And then the following year we played against Portugal and we just absolutely smashed them to win bronze. But we had such a great team. I mean, like you've named a few of the players there. We had Zach Catterall, Will Alderton, Luke Coit-McKenzie was involved. Shout out to him. He's absolutely brilliant. We had Jacob Dawes, Shane Buckland, obviously, myself, Elle Parker, Alex Richardson. Like we had a really great team. We obviously had great coaches as well. We had Corinne Buckland, we had Danny Miles at one point, Joe Sterling. Like we did really, really well. And it's just a shame that COVID happened at the time it did, because we were meant to be going to play in Taiwan for the world champs for the under 21s and just narrowly losing out to Germany in that golden goal. We were really up for it. So that was a real shame. And I think actually COVID had such a big impact on everyone's participation in Korfball. Yeah. And I think it really, for English Korfball, it's really halted everyone's progress. I mean, you look at the other countries and they're still, like Czech, for instance, are getting so much better. And I think our progress sort of stalled slightly. So yeah, keen to really get back involved with the England setup and hopefully see some more of those players playing again. And yeah, progressing.
Yeah, for sure. I am also kind of cautiously optimistic in the last year or so. We're as I say, like getting that kind of youth setup kind of properly re-established again. Clubs such as Bromley that we've talked about have got a massively expanding youth cohort yet again. Yeah, keep pushing forward and that would feed upwards into better results for all the way up to senior England teams. I think this kind of leads on, talking about some of the great times like that leads on to some of the good, some fun next segment that we're going to do about questions from a few fans. Do I call them that? People that have kindly sent some questions for Aisha. And the first one being from someone you may know called Eleanor Parker has asked what your favourite Korfball memory is. And you might have already mentioned it, but it can be like serious, like actual success, or could just be something fun and that people might not know about.
Yeah, I'd have to say it must have been winning one of those bronze medals in golden goal. Because Elle Parker asked the question, maybe I'll say the Taipei game. But no, any of those 3 bronze medals. In fact, actually, the Catalonia game was great. I just remember, like, Danny Miles, I'm sure he was coaching us at the time, like, shouting at us, like, giving us this pep talk at half time, like, basically, sort yourselves out. Like, we were losing by so many. And we came back going goal for goal for goal. And, like, it was just incredible when we'd won that. And the first feeling to ever, like, get a medal, it was incredible. Yeah. So maybe actually the Catalonia one.
Yeah. I think those kind of moments, that the feeling involved in that is you can't really replicate anywhere else in life. And who doesn't love a golden goal win when you're on the correct side of it? There's nothing more dramatic.
Yeah.
It's also nothing more heartbreaking, but
yeah,
no, surely that's got to be up there with some of the best. So yes, thank you, Eleanor, for sending that in.
I feel like she was definitely. I texted to Caitlin. I was like, some of these just craving like a big shout out, but we'll give it right. Okay, we got the next one. Favorite motorway service station.
For people that don't know,
yeah,
these trips, obviously Belgium, Netherlands, etc., involve a lot of travel via the road. And therefore, you get to experience service stations all over Western Europe.
Would also like to preface that this is sent in by a gentleman called Kieran Tang, but it was actually sent in by his dog's Instagram account, Yuki Does Life, and has specifically put trying to get his dog account promo. So that just so you're aware. But yeah, let us know he wants to know your favourite motorway service station.
I'm not even going to say one like in outside of England. I'm actually going to say it's going to have to be Clackett Lane.
Okay.
Because so many like junior trips up to Trinity or Royal Russell or Whitgift to go to training and then driving back along the M25. It would have been like me, Elle Parker, Shane Buckland or Zach Catterall, Will Alderton, like getting in there, getting our McDonald's, like top tier post-training munch.
Yeah. Bonus question, what's in the McDonald's order?
Now, what's in the McDonald's order? It's got to be double cheeseburger with extra pickles and extra cheese. Probably a McSpicy meal with a Fanta. And I don't know if you've tried the new mac and cheese bites.
Oh,
insane.
I have not. Yeah.
But any cheesy side that's coming with that.
Glad to hear the McDonald's pickle getting some love too. Everyone, it's definitely needed. I'm a massive fan.
Mate, you've said that about specific players, and now you've addressed it for pickles. Oh, we've gone this far without mentioning. Oh, I'm glad to see they're getting love. Also, want to shout out the McDonald's pickle.
Sponsor us. But yes, the next question, again asking for a favourite of something. This one is from a certain Caitlin Fitzgerald. What is your favourite sports hall flooring? Because this really varies, and there are some good ones.
My favourite sports. Can I ask the hosts what theirs might be as well, whilst I think about the question?
Of course you can.
What are yours?
European Championships 2014, my first England senior tournament. I think they'd flown is this good content for everyone? They'd flown the floor over from the Netherlands, I believe, and it fit together like a jigsaw, and it was slightly sprung. My vertical jump has never been higher, honestly. So I'll take the help I can get, and that was a good one. Sticks in the mind a decade later.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever actually played on a real sports and on like a real Korfball actual pitch. So I'm gonna call out the territory of the Leicester final summer tournament. For the big win there. Uneven ground. When you're a player like me, that really brings everybody down to your level, which is much better. So I'm gonna say whenever there's a discrepancy in the level of the playing field, that's where. So I'll go for Leicester Rugby Club. That's
Huge.
Okay. So having heard those, I'm going to say it's definitely not Epsom, because Epsom College is just the worst. I would probably have to say then something like the Challenge, because the Challenge. Did you ever go and play at the Challenge, Caitlin?
Yes, yeah.
Like,
I actually
those
loved it.
halls
Little
were just,
Boxing Day trip.
yeah, insane. Like, they were really, really, and there was like 4 sports halls, I think, on top of each other. Maybe
Yeah.
fact check that, because I don't know if that's true. But yeah, and like one of them had these padded walls, like cushioned walls.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Challenge.
Yeah, good shout. It's
No.
like in this one building, the sports hall quality is better than any sports hall in the UK.
Yeah. Insane.
I guess we should probably get on to some perhaps more serious questions here that some of our fans have asked. I like the idea that we have fans, Caitlin. Listeners, I don't know if they're fans. There's just no other Korfball content. So, okay. So Anna asked, and I don't know who Anna is. 185 Anna 185 asked, who's the person you dread marking?
If there is one.
There's a few, actually. There's a few people, like, for instance, you know that Neela Brennan's just going to bang in goals. So, yeah, I mean, like her, I know she's obviously one of the best players that England has probably seen. So, you know, playing against Neela is always a tough ask, because she's going to bang in some goals. I didn't play against Claire Deek at the weekend, but shout out to her, because I think she's an unreal player. Mallory Head did a really, really good job against her, but she just keeps running and running and running. And also shout out to Ashley Warner, because she does not stop moving. So yeah, either one of those three, just because you know that Neela's going to bang in goals, so's Claire, so's Ashley, and they just keep moving constantly.
Yeah, for sure. Claire as well has a very consistent shot, but kind of maybe slightly more unorthodox movement. So yeah, definitely a tough one. That kind of leads us on to our next question. This person, super fan Lizzie K. Ty, has submitted a couple, but the first being, how do you deal with the pressure or kind of the knowledge of always having to mark the best attacker, so kind of knowing that person's probably going to be assigned to you?
Yeah, I mean, great question. I think, to be honest, it's kind of half a mental battle as well. Like, I've got to back myself. I do back myself as a good defender. I think maybe Marcus gives me a little bit too much hype. Yeah, no, you've got to back yourself. We've been playing against the best people in the league now for quite a few years, so you kind of know how they're going to attack as well. And also, like, telling myself not to jump in and try and blam everyone at every given chance. That's also good. But yeah, and also just knowing that you've got the support of a really, really good team as well. So, you know, I've got playing with Beth, Amy, Mal, you know that they're going to have your back as well. And the boys also cutting out feeds and stepping forward. So yeah, I think it's definitely a team effort. But yeah, also just backing myself.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you said that, actually. And we often ignore that about defending, that like team cohesion is actually so important, and communication. I know Marcus spoke about it a bit, but yeah, totally agree. Again, a slightly less serious one. Who has the ugliest shot in Korfball, and who's got the prettiest?
I don't want to get cancelled, and I want to make a disclaimer now that I absolutely love this person, but Joe Bedford, that's probably the ugliest yet most effective shot. I mean, he's good for like 7 or 8 goals a game. He's probably not even going to listen to that, so it doesn't matter.
He is now. He is when I clip it and send it to him. That's
yeah. But yeah, shout out to Joe, because he has got he scores goals, but he's too muscly, so it doesn't look very aesthetically pleasing. You know, Elle Parker, shout out to her, like, best friend from day one. She has the most effortless looking shot ever. And I actually used to love training against her, but also hate it as well, because she's also one of those people that's just going to bang in goals and doesn't even look like she's putting any effort in whatsoever.
That's the worst part about it. You're like, I'm trying so hard. Why? At least make it look like you're struggling to get a shot a little bit.
Yeah.
And then, sorry, go on, James.
Yeah, actually, Caitlin, if you want to ask the final, well, you go.
The final one from Lizzie. Any Korfball icks?
I don't. Do you know what? I think it has to be, and I don't know why. England Korfball make us wear flipping black socks, but it has to be wearing black socks with white trainers. Just stop this, and stop making us wear black socks. Petition to never wear black socks on another England trip ever.
I literally remember you saying this on trip. This is so funny. Yeah, agree.
Yeah,
agree.
But no, other than that, I don't think so. No.
That's a good one.
But shouting out also that there is such a thing as being Korf fit, where you are only good looking because you are good at Korfball.
And we will say no further on this matter.
Yeah.
We are. This is now we're in territory where we're going to get cancelled. Now we are in territory. Yeah. Where okay. Moving swiftly on. What do you feel prouder of, playing for England or the University of Kent Korfball Club? And that comes from Gabriella Cliff, who happens to be Caitlin's cousin, I believe.
Yeah, shout out Gabby.
The GC.
Shout out to Gabby actually, because she was an unreal defender. She was my division buddy back in Bucks. So I'm gonna say Bucks. There you go. You heard it here first.
Big love for the Bucks, and I definitely want to touch base because we found out some fun stuff at the weekend. But Aisha, I think it will lead nicely onto asking you about it as well. For a PT, what's your go-to post game snack or meal?
Post
game.
Honestly, yeah. It's probably a Nando's or I used to be a tradition that if I'd win, I'd go to Nando's. Now we normally end up just going to the pub after, but just something that's going to get me some carbs and some good protein in, to be honest. And also a pint of Guinness, might I add.
Recovery drink. It is at this point, isn't it?
The iron.
That's quite controlled still. Whilst Caitlin and I were at the pub at the weekend, we found out from an unidentified source, okay? So I'm not going to name this person. Even though they've said that we can, I want everybody else to guess who this person is, right? But I'm going to give you guys and the listeners what I would describe as the most unhinged post-match meal I've ever heard of, right? So it was an entire block of cheese, right? A jar of olive. Yeah, it was like a Lancashire cheese, apparently. A jar of olives, but the olive water, I believe, was drained out. So they just... Yeah. It was a couple of pork pies and then a litre of full fat milk.
Not lactose intolerant, I'll tell you that for free.
Okay.
So there it is. There's a question for the listeners over the next week to guess who's noshing that after a game. And and then I don't know if we're going to play this every week where we guess someone else's, or I'll just find out an updated version of what this person's is and then we can just talk through it. But listen, until somebody guesses correctly, we're going to continue to play what is this person's post-match meal.
I love that.
But there you go. Any guesses?
Well, I don't know. No, I actually don't. I have no clue.
Yeah, when I heard this, I was like, wow, who could that be?
No. I love it. Right. Okay. Now, we kind of just moving on. We do want to play one game with you, but before we do that, basically one thing I wanted to ask you about is the dynamic of moving clubs, because we haven't addressed that yet. And I know Caitlin obviously moved from Beck to Trojans and back again, but we haven't actually spoken about the fact that everybody in Korfball is a really tight-knit community. And that must be a really challenging decision. And you obviously moved from one really talented club that were absolutely, at the pinnacle and sort of approaching with those games, getting to that point, and then you moved to another club in Kent. I don't know if you're going to mind talking about that and how that kind of process works and what made that decision for you, and just give the listeners an insight into how those things happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at a time when I left Bearsted to go and join Tornadoes, that was sort of because I think Bearsted, and no disrespect to them, they were really, really good at developing their juniors, just didn't really have much else in terms of offering me any more progression. Dave and Corinne, as I say, two of the best coaches in the whole of England, really transformed an amazing group of young raw athletes into England internationals. So that was sort of why I made the move from Bearsted to Tornadoes, and really, really grateful for everything that I had learned. Tornadoes came at a time where we'd suffered like a pretty hard defeat in the finals. And a couple of people were dispersing, like Shane Buckland has obviously gone off to play in the Netherlands. Alex Richardson obviously was going off travelling. Elle had gone off travelling. And I think, I wanted to play Korfball and I wanted to enjoy it. And I wanted to play with some of my friends, and Owen Bailey and Dan Brown were moving to Kingfisher. And it is really hard because they've, Dave and Corinne and the whole of Tornadoes did a lot and they invested a lot in us as players. But I think actually, you've kind of just got to go to those trainings and sort of make up your own mind. And I'm really glad that I made the move over to Kingfisher. Really, really enjoyed playing. Maybe apart from the back end of last season when we'd lost quite a few players as well. And I think one of the other players that I didn't mention earlier was Ryan Medhurst, who has been a big loss for us as well. But yeah, it is really, really hard moving team. But you've just got to kind of, Caitlin, you obviously know it's like you've got to do it, and that door will always be open. I'd like to think if you did ever want to go back, and it's hard, but it's definitely worth it in the end.
Yeah, for sure. Like in a sport with kind of quite close knit, and when there are opportunities like that, you kind of need to take them, I think. And it's just very crucial that you're at the place where you can continue kind of developing and excelling. And that's definitely kind of was a big motivation behind my move from Bromley to Beck. Always incredibly grateful to Bromley for introducing me to the sport. But yeah, thanks for giving a bit of an insight into that. I know that's something that not always like kind of spoken about. Even if you have to wear a white skirt at Kingfisher, still chose to move.
That is the worst thing about playing for Kingfisher, is wearing that white skirt. But at least I think the boys look worse wearing white shorts, I have to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
You heard it here. Whoever's running the Kingfisher setup, you heard it. Switch it up. White top, blue shorts, or whatever you're going to do, but there you go.
Yeah.
Also, I'm going to go through it because I think it'll be quite fun if it's all right with you, Aisha. We've never played this game before. We've produced it. It's a quick fire game. So it's going to be essentially, it's called higher or lower. So let me quickly find it. So the preference is I'm going to give you, let me quickly find it here. I'm going to give you basically a question and you have to guess who has got the higher number, right? Okay. So it's always going higher than that person, okay? So this is according to worldkorfball.org, which we have learned is not reliable. Not reliable at all. And also this podcast apparently is not reliable either. But listen, so here we go. You ready for a fast fire round of higher or lower with Aisha Chaudry? Are we ready?
Let's go.
Okay, who has scored more international goals, Aisha Chaudry or Caitlin Fitzgerald? This includes club.
Caitlin Fitzgerald, it's got to be.
Wrong. Aisha, you've scored 54. Caitlin has scored 43.
I back it though. Caitlin's got the best step back Arini ever.
Bit slow. It's a bit slow these days, but we're working on it.
I don't know. Saw it at the weekend. Bagged little 4, didn't you, Caitlin? 4-3 for it 4. I think it was juicy.
We'll round it up.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, good like that. Okay, who has scored the most goals at the most recent European Championship? Was it Scotland or Ireland?
I'm probably going to say Ireland.
Correct. Ireland scored 56. Scotland scored 52. Who has scored more international penalties? Dan Brown or Owen Bailey?
Owen Bailey.
Dan Brown, 13. Owen Bailey, 12.
Oh, shout out Dan Brown.
Yeah. Owen, you've got to come back to get that stat. Above
exactly.
Dan's.
It's gonna either that or Owen Bailey isn't finishing his dinner, but he finished it in the semi-final against Beck in the last second, didn't he? When it matters, the guy puts it in the fucking basket, doesn't he?
Dubious score there as well, might I add.
Or don't start on this. We got in trouble last time. Don't start on this. Right. Who has scored more international long shot goals, Aisha Chaudry or Tiggy Warner?
Probably Tiggy. I don't really score long shots.
Aisha, you've scored 3. Tiggy scored 2. Back yourself. God. Okay, who has scored more international goals, Lizzie Ty or Marcus Ty?
I think it's Lizzie.
It's definitely Lizzie. Lizzie scored 69, Marcus has scored 21.
Shout out Marcus though. He was one of the best players that we had as well in our youth setup. Like, I don't know if I mentioned him actually.
Yeah, I was going to say, but yeah, we've got him in.
I'm sorry that I didn't mention it. He was definitely, a key player as well for us. I feel really awful now that I didn't.
Everyone does this. It's all good.
Yeah.
Right.
There's too many people to mention.
Too many people that everybody loves. It's nice. But who has more international appearances, Blake Palfreyman or Sam Brooks?
I'm going to say Sam, I think.
Of course it's Blake. It's just always Blake. We would never put a stat that's not Blake. How do you not know that? No, I'm joking.
I know.
It is Blake, but only by one appearance. 120 to 119 for
including,
Sam Brooks,
I guess, Trojan stuff. That's going to be...
Yeah.
Wow.
It's including club. Yeah. So
I only said Sam because I thought Sam's a bit older.
Yeah.
But I mean, Blake is also the GOAT, isn't he? So
yeah.
Every
tournament.
Pretty much
every game, yeah.
Every tournament, every game. Okay, who has scored more in international runners, Aisha Chaudry or Alex Richardson?
All right, I'm going to back myself and say me.
Oh, mate, a little bit big-headed. It's Alex Richardson. She's got 7 and you've got 5. Mate, come on.
I can't finish my runners either, so... Caitlin, fuck's sake.
No, we're in that boat together.
Yeah.
That lined up so nicely to bait you out on that. Of the fact that we didn't practice this, by the way, that was just, yeah. I can't believe that worked. Okay, who has scored more international goals, Ben Buckland or Luke Buckland?
I'm saying Luke, I think.
Ben Buckland. Quite
I'm
a
actually really
substantial
bad
amount.
at this.
32 for 13. Caitlin, we should have been keeping score because we're going to play this with other people and then we're going to track who gets the highest score. Yeah.
Okay.
Can we start again?
No, we don't have that many more questions. So, okay, let's go. Who scored more goals in your most recent European game when you played for Tornadoes versus Bruno? You or Zach Catterall?
Probably Zach.
It's you, Aisha. You've got to have more confidence in yourself. You've really
Yeah,
got to back
come
yourself
on.
here. I
You
mean,
guys.
You've got to know when to back yourself.
who scored more goals in your last England match versus Hungary? Amy Turner or Jacob Dawes?
Jacob?
Correct. Jacob scored 6. Amy scored 5. Who scored more international running-in shots? Blake Puff-Raymond or Joe Bedford?
No, actually, Joe. Joe doesn't miss his runners.
Joe Bedford is correct. 63 to Blake's 54. Who scored more goals in the last England game you scored in, which was versus Portugal at the World Champs in 2023? Dom Brooks or you?
Dom. Let's say Dom.
Dom Brooks is correct. He scored 3, he scored 2. And then lastly, who has played in more international games? Shannon Jones or Aisha Chaudry?
Does this include juniors?
Yeah, well, Korfball org, so I guess.
Myself?
You are correct. You appeared in 54 and Shannon has 53.
Unlucky Shan.
Nicked it by 1, but yeah.
The battle continues.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, I have to calculate how many you got. We should have written that down, Caitlin. This is the problem with running this podcast like this. We have no idea what's going on. So yeah, no clue at all, do we? But yeah, that was pretty good, I'd say. I'd say pretty good overall. Hopefully some people played along and were able to see what was going on and have a laugh with it. I hope that was enjoyable anyway for everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, pretty good from you, I would say. And then just before we go, want to give you a chance to talk through any young players to look out for. If there's anybody you feel like you've missed, let us know. And yeah, here's your opportunity. Here's your platform.
Okay. Not a young player, but I just want to shout out Marcus Ty again before because I didn't put him in the team from our England youth setup. But yeah, him. And now you're going to have to forgive me because I don't know all of their surnames. But Kush, I believe, is her name from Bromley. She's really, really good. I think she's quite a talented young player to look out for. Cara Brennan, plays for Knights. She was really, really good actually in our game that we played on Sunday. I think she scored quite a few goals. Jacob, the young boy who plays for Bromley as well. Really, really good. Trying to think who else there is. I mean, to be honest, like when you actually look at what Tornadoes have been doing and how Dave Buckland's been building that team up again, you know, I think they're another one to watch out for as well. But yeah, so other than that, I mean, to be honest, I don't spend enough time looking at the youth setup, but yeah.
Really, really, really appreciate that. We basically just wanted an opportunity to shout out some young players. We know that a lot of them, we're very lucky, a lot of them tune in and listen, and we wanted to make sure they're hearing some love as well, Aisha, because I think the same names crop up, right? Because depending on who you speak to, it's all kind of within the same community, so it's nice to try and hear some new names and give them a bit of love as well. But I think, Caitlin, unless you've got anything else, I kind of think that sums us up for Aisha. And yeah, just I guess a massive thank you. Caitlin, is there anything else that you kind of want to go through?
No, just, yeah, another massive thank you. I know we covered a lot quite quickly there, kind of a whistle-stop tour through things. Well, thanks for, playing along, answering those questions and just giving, a small insight into your time in Korfball. I'm sure we'll can have you back on in the future to talk even more.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you so much for coming on. It's just so awesome that you agreed to this. We loved it. And yeah, definitely, please come back. We hope to have you on again because there's so much more to go through, but we only have limited time. So we hope that you'll come and join us for a bit of a waffle and hopefully maybe see you at the pub on Saturday. I'm not going to train. I'm only coming for the pub.
We'll be at the pub. I will be there.
I think Caitlin's going to go and get involved, right, Caitlin?
Of course, that's post first England senior training session. So really great that is back on and we can get the ball rolling with that. So yeah, very much looking forward to that.
Yeah, same. Really, really excited actually. Yeah.
Awesome. Right. Well, thank you so much, Aisha. We're both very, very grateful and you've been an amazing guest and I can't wait to put this out to the listeners and for everybody to hear you talk all things Korf. But in the meantime, have a great rest of your week and we'll see you on Saturday for a pint at the pub.
Thank you very much for having me. Keep up the amazing stuff as well. I'm a big fan of the pod.
Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.
See you later.
See you later. Bye-bye. What an absolute legend she is.
Yeah, it was great fun. The not backing herself in that game, but then just getting then backing herself at the wrong moment was very funny. Yeah, really, you forget she's done so much and she's only 24, just to make us all feel even worse about ourselves. So yeah, great.
She's just definitely going to be like. She's already a superstar for England, right? She's one of the most capped players, by the way. She's in the top 20 most capped players for England. Well, since they've been tracking it, I think, which is 2006. She's one of the most capped players for England, and she's going to consistently be there. She's also a PT, so she's obviously going to, stay fit as well. So, she's just going to be in the picture for the next, 6-7 years at least. So she's going to make a real dent in that and definitely be one of the most capped England players of all time. Absolute legend, even kinder to talk to, right? Which is always so nice when they're awesome at the sport and then also nice on the outside. It just makes it so much easier, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's definitely something we wanted to this podcast to highlight, is you see like Korf personas of people. This is not specific to Ayisha, just anyone in general, but we get to actually show what people are like beyond the court as well, which is always nice to give for everyone too.
Yeah, there you go. Peel back the curtain a little bit, Caitlin. That was one of the name ideas that we had, beyond the court. And instead we opted for Korf's sake, which some might question the legitimacy of what we do, but we feel like that is more a vibey of what we're like as humans, right? So if anybody else wants to run a serious Korfball podcast where they talk through reliable stats and they talk through that, then feel free. But we're here to have a bit of a jolly along the way. But listen, yeah, amazing guest, and really excited for this week's games coming up. Really excited that the England setup is getting back going again. Cannot wait to hear all about that. I'm sure we'll have Aisha. Definitely look to have a number of England players on before your tournaments when you do eventually go for them, to talk about the exciting updates that are coming. Just before we go, Caitlin, for the listeners, Vogwell's very difficult question, because we're of course going to have this every week. This week's very difficult question is, which two players, so two players are on joint stats here, which two players have had the highest number of England appearances but never scored for England? So yeah, arguably an interesting one, maybe a bit savage from us, but yeah, see if anybody can guess the answer. So they've played for England, whoever's played for England the most without ever netting a bucket. This is for all of our assisters, those assisting players, team players here.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it's a good one. I look forward to seeing what people say about that.
Yeah. Awesome. We've not got the confirmation on next guest yet, but we will hopefully have that in the next couple of days, and we'll be posting to our Instagram to get your questions from them. Anything to say before we leave, Caitlin?
Just thank you very much again for listening. Thank you. I just want to quickly highlight the hard work from yourself, James, in editing these, and a couple of people behind the scenes, Kieran Tang and Maddie Denman, for making a lot of our social media content and the graphics. They haven't got any kind of they haven't asked for any, but need a bit of recognition there. I just turn up and chat, Korf waffle, whereas they do a lot of hard work as well. So much appreciated.
Yeah, there's much more going on behind the scenes, I think, sometimes than maybe everybody is aware. But yeah, it's everybody loves doing it, and we're the lucky two that get to kind of be the face. But yeah, absolutely, them two are very important. Tang came up with all the questions for that game, has come up with many of the content ideas that we've had on here, and Mads does all the graphics that you see. So very grateful to both of them. So yeah, amazing. But yeah, lovely end to the segment there. And listen, we look forward to seeing everybody next week for another jolly. So yeah, have a great week, everyone. Take care. And from me and Caitlin, what am I going to say now?
Goodbye.
Bye.